Hello, my beautiful angels. Today's topic I'm really excited to deep dive into because we're going to be talking about how to create from your feminine flow. And this is something that I'm super passionate about. And ever since I began to heal in my femininity about 3 years ago now, I healed from burnout, I healed from toxic hustle culture, and I healed wounded aspects of myself that were blocking me from creating a life that I loved and creating a life that I felt successful in, where I wasn't burning myself out and overworking myself in a way that didn't feel right for me, my body, or my nervous system. So this is something that I teach my clients, and that is how to create from your feminine flow, whether that's in business, whether that's in finance, whether that's just in your creative endeavors. So understanding the divine feminine and the natural feminine is going to help you get into this beautiful flow state where you are not sacrificing your health, your hormones, and your body, and your mind, of course, to create the life that you love. So let's get into it. Before we get started, I want to let you guys know that doors have opened for the Natural Feminine Experience. This is my 7-day live virtual workshop where you will be group coaching with me directly and joining a community of like-minded women who are also wanting to heal and get into their natural feminine, which the natural feminine is basically the physical actions and habits that you can embody right now to embody your divine feminine and heal in your divine feminine. So right now we have an early bird sale going on, and once these early bird tickets are gone, they are gone. If you want to get in on a discount, be sure to buy your ticket right away, link in the description. I know a lot of people wanted to get in on this program last August when it launched, so if you really want to get into it and jumpstart a beautiful 2024, link is in the description. All the information is there. So let's talk about it. Divine feminine, divine masculine. A lot of people hear this term, I talk about it, and it's not really what you think. So I created this paradigm around the divine feminine and the divine masculine that helped me heal and along my journey. I was very much in toxic hustle culture, kind of like girl boss. And I love this time period that we're in because a lot of women, especially kind of like later millennials or millennials and Gen Z, we are realizing how that whole girl boss trope wasn't really the best thing for us and really wasn't aligned with a lot of us. And I think a lot of entrepreneurial gurus out there have also changed their tune because we've realized how toxic this whole hustle culture narrative can really be. Only working, no sleep. So we have had kind of a very wounded masculine version, which I will get into in a second. Wounded masculine version of working, productivity, and creating and building businesses, which I believe that since we are having an awakening of so many women wanting to come into their femininity, we can work with that energy to actually find success and create success in our businesses, or maybe just your finances, or maybe just in your creative endeavors. It doesn't have to be all about business. So let's talk about this paradigm of the divine feminine and divine masculine. And it's a lot less woo-woo than you might think, right? A lot less esoteric than you might think. For me, it's very simple. The divine masculine and the divine feminine are both of the most healed aspects of the masculine energy and the feminine energy. It's like the masculine and the feminine in the divine expression, right? From God. It's very beautiful, it's very healed, and it is powerful. The divine masculine is about producing, giving. It is expansive, it's outward, and it is active. So very future. Divine feminine, I define it as receiving, multiplying. It's intuitive, it's inward, and it's passive. So both of these energies cannot exist without one or the other. They are balancing off each other. It's like a beautiful dance. And when you're in these healed energies, it's like you both work together. I personally like to see it as the relationship between God and the earth, right? The earth is kind of like Mother Nature. She is feminine, receiving everything from above. God is giving, and the earth is receiving. This can be an energy that is embodied not only in relationships, but in nature. This is not physical, right? These are not physical things. These are more spiritual, energetic things. Balance off of each other, they support each other, and they work together. So now we get into the natural masculine and the natural feminine. So all of this stuff that I'm giving you guys is actually just a taste of what you can see in the natural feminine experience and what I talk about in my own coaching. So I took these two energies that I studied, and I study them through not only myself, myself, in my experiences, but through other people, also in the Bible, things that I found that work together and kind of like, it's kind of like an archetype, you know, different tropes. So the natural masculine, which is the characteristics, the physical or, you know, the actionable characteristics you would embody yourself, right? So you as a person, you can embody these things. So the natural masculine, which is the healed version, protection, clarity, discipline, support, courage, inner strength, direction, confidence. It's about future, it's about roots, boundaries, stability, assertiveness, focus, and logic. Then we move over to the feminine, the natural feminine, which I love, right? Because we can tend to look at the natural masculine and say, actually, those are traits I would prefer. They seem better. But listen to the feminine traits. It's about love, understanding, patience, vibrancy, nurture, connection, calm, flow, nature, collaboration, creativity, harmony, vision, memory, fruit, and senses. Now, the wounded feminine or the wounded masculine. This is what a lot of people are in, and I believe that our current paradigm just as a world is very much in a wounded masculine. So there's also wounded feminine things as well that can come up, right? And you know, the corporate structure or in the work structure right now, especially in the United States, work kind of overtakes people's lives in a very unhealthy way in some areas like Japan as well. Looking at it through this lens, it kind of makes sense. It's like, whoa, this is not a masculine thing per se. It's actually a wounded masculine. It comes from woundedness, comes from scarcity, comes from lack. So wounded masculine is abusive, controlling, unstable. It's about comparison and competition, withdrawal, avoidance, revenge, and rage. So this is stuff that you can see as a whole. A society can have these traits, right? Or a certain paradigm, or people can also have these traits, right? And when you see these traits, it means that they need to heal. Wounded feminine, on the other hand, is insecure, needy, codependent, manipulative, aggressive. It's falsity, carelessness, temperamental, irresponsible, and self-sabotage. So those are just a few of those traits in the wounded feminine. And know that this is not just gender-based. You can be a woman and have wounded masculine traits because you were hurt or you were raised by someone who maybe was in their wounded feminine, and thus to protect yourself, you put up these wounded masculine traits. It's a good way to kind of understand the world around you and also people around you and just how different people come into these states of woundedness and also these states of healing that are so beautiful and powerful. So let's focus in on the natural feminine. Getting into your natural feminine is a beautiful way to heal both your wounded feminine or wounded masculine aspects. So I usually like to take the natural feminine as a way to heal the wounded masculine aspects, especially if you're a woman and you do lean towards more your femininity and you're called to heal into your femininity and live a more feminine life. So first off, if you want to start being creative through your femininity, you want to see it from a place of flow, not fighting against the current. Whenever there is a struggle or people are fighting you or you're having just a lot of difficulty in your business or in creating money, that's a good sign that you need to stop and let go. For me, that really was me stopping and letting God. Right? Prayer. I have spent so much time deep in prayer. Something that I have been called to do in my own journey is to have a prayer journal and ask God about how to navigate certain things. So I have let go, right? And I think a lot of, not just in my own faith, but in a lot of spiritual practices, you hear a lot about surrendering, letting go. That is a very feminine thing. And so I like to think of it kind of as water. I prefer to be like water, where I go with the stream, I go with the flow of different things. I accept that not everything is going to go my way, right? I have to accept to let go. I have to accept that not everything is going to go exactly how I planned it. The over planning, the over trying to control things, that's very wounded masculine. And again, this is stuff that for some people, they like to work that way. This is not a video for them. This is for you if you are struggling and you are tired of fighting against the current. It's a good sign that you need to let go and go with the flow. As women, our bodies are hormonal. We have hormonal bodies. When we honor our hormones, especially through things like cycle syncing, which in the natural feminine experience, I talk about this in depth. So if that's something you really want to learn, please come and join the natural feminine experience. Listening to your body instead of fighting your body. When you're tired, rest. Don't take that as a sign that you need to drink more energy drinks or force yourself, right? Listen to your body, because it could be that as your body is calling out, there's something going on with it, right? Either hormone imbalance or, an illness, or you just need to rest more, eat better, whatever. So it's very intuitive working with the flow. So as you go with the flow, listening to your body, understanding that your body's going to feel different every day as a woman, especially as a hormonal being, it's important that we honor that. It doesn't mean that you're lazy because you decide to rest. Let's get out of that paradigm that laziness means resting. That is the complete opposite of what we should be doing as humans, is negating our body and negating what our body is feeling. And so many entrepreneurs, especially very successful entrepreneurs, will tell you that the rest and recovery is just as important as the work and the productivity. So once you get to this place where you have habits and routines where you are able to rest and go with the flow of your body, go with the flow of your life, you will see how the flow will become more noticeable. You won't ignore it as much. It'll become more clear for you. At the beginning, it may feel a bit unclear, like, am I doing the right thing? But if you start to kind of slow down and be like water in a stream, you're gonna feel so much better. And that's the basis of femininity, is slowing down, right? Being very present and having a lot of patience and understanding, not only with yourself, but also with the process. So number 2 is understand that you are a multiplier. Whatever it is that you focus on, you are going to multiply it. Obviously, our thoughts and our words and our focus has a lot of power, because that kind of sets the tone for ourselves and our lives. If you're focusing on a lot of negative things, that is what will continue to reoccur in your life. But if you're focusing on positive things or on solutions, that is what will keep coming up for you in life. So your focus should be on whatever it is that you want in your life. I stopped listening to a lot of modern music and a lot of stuff that kind of got me amped up, or, in these negative states of mind. It could be music. I stay away from a lot of horror movies and a lot of just things that are distressing content, because I am a mother and I do not want to have my nervous system stressed at all, especially when dealing with a toddler at home. I want to make sure I'm as calm, and especially I am a very sensitive person, and I'm sure a lot of you guys can resonate with that. And instead of seeing it as a weakness, I see it as my superpower. So I use my sensitivity for good things instead of letting my sensitivity overrun me and be overrun by these negative things that affect me, and thus my focus is out of whack. So whatever it is that I focus on, and if I focus too much on bad things, whether out in the world or in my personal life, that's what will continue multiplying. And I see it and I notice it. So instead I come back to my center. This is the thing. Women, we often take, I notice in the women around me, is we often will take stuff from other people, right? Whether we know it or not. It can be our partners, it can be from work, and we will just expand it. Right? We will grow it. It's kind of like, I forgot who it was, someone made a really good metaphor. It's kind of like a woman, she receives a sperm and she creates a baby, right? A woman is given a house and she turns it into a home. That is kind of like, a very simplistic way of viewing it, but it's so true that we will amplify what it is that we're focusing on, or what we are given. So start focusing on the good things, on good aspects, especially when it comes to money and abundance and creativity. It's a superpower. It's a beautiful blessing to be able to do this, but also it's a huge responsibility. So make sure that you are focusing on abundance, you're focusing on growth, you're focusing on opportunity, especially when it comes to your business or your life. Next is to focus on collaboration over competition. So as we talked before, competition and comparison can be a wounded masculine trait. So what's important is that we focus on collaboration. So working with, especially with other women, right? Working with other women, joining forces, and instead of viewing either other women or other men or whoever as your competition, instead see, especially if you're having animosity in the workspace, see how you can work with these people instead. That's a really beautiful way to get into your natural feminine. Working together with ideas, helping each other out, especially not being afraid of lending a helping hand to someone, or if somebody asks for help, Don't view it as a negative thing, especially in business where you might worry that someone is your competition. One thing I have learned is that there is enough. We live in a very abundant world, abundant universe. There is enough for everyone. It is these wounded masculine paradigms that make us think of scarcity, right? Because scarcity makes a product more expensive in the market, right? Having less of something makes it more valuable. So naturally, they're going to want to make you have this paradigm and this mindset that things are scarce and you have to fight everyone in a dog-eat-dog world kind of thing. But actually, if we work with each other, work with your neighbor, work together through community, or just with other people in your space, in your industry, you are going to see how much more abundant you'll become, more opportunities come your way, and more creativity happens, right? It's kind of like the old saying, alone you will go faster, but together you will go far. So I think that's how it goes, something like that. But I hold that idea very dear to me, especially in my relationship. You know, in my relationship with my husband, I see it as we work together, right? Not him against me. A lot of times we pit men against women. And although society wants to put men against women all the time, right? For clicks, for views, for, you know, selling stuff or whatever, political points, whatever, I believe that collaborating with each other is the best way to go. I know so many women who are successful in what they do, and they are collaborators, they are networkers, they are constantly seeing how they can help others, giving things away for free, you know, just so helpful and not afraid of sharing their knowledge. And so that's something that is so beautiful and it's so underappreciated in today's society, but it is so powerful. Enjoying the process of creation. That's my last point, is to make sure that you are enjoying the process and making the process as beautiful and as luscious and as amazing as you'd like. You can start simply here. You can play your favorite music. I love classical music. When I'm in creation mode, I make sure not to be like a crazy little busy mouse, you know, like, or a crazy worker ant kind of thing. I make sure that I'm in my flow, that I enjoy it. So I eat well before I sit down to work. I'll light a candle, play some music, get comfortable. I'll also work in ways that, you know, I used to have this very specific way of working, which was I would sit down and work for like 5 hours straight, and that would get me really drained. At the end, I was so drained that I didn't have energy for anything else. So what I do now is I take breaks. I'll work in spurts of 1 hour, you know, little breaks in between, make sure I refuel, take a walk, since I work from home. Now for you, it may be a little different. If you work at an office, make sure that you're taking breaks as much as you can. I know that, you know, everyone has a different work environment. Some are more strict than others, but giving yourself those little moments, those little pockets throughout your workday that feel good to you. Getting some air or listening to, you know, some affirmations or praying or whatever to help get you in a good state of mind during the work week or your work day is going to feel so much better. So making your work, your commute to work enjoyable, listening to podcasts, nice music. So romanticizing the process is so much fun. And I know that a lot of people may listen to my advice and it might struck a nerve, or people might think I'm crazy or might think that I'm just completely delusional. It's fine if you think that, but just know that you can start implementing little changes in your daily work routine or your business routine or in your financial life that is going to feel more in the feminine flow. So you don't have to make all these changes overnight. Obviously, start taking little bits and pieces. And as long as you take one little piece of advice and implement it into your life, I am happy with that, right? So it's about small changes, the compound effect. Femininity is about patience. And so that's why I believe in the compound effect so much. So doing small little things every day will get you much further than trying to make a huge, big change and dramatic change in one moment. I used to think that way when I was younger and naive, that I had to do these big gestures and these big things. But now I'm so proud of myself when I do one little thing, one little task off my to-do list, especially now as a mom. My plate is super full all the time, and I have to schedule everything and be, you know, very diligent in order to get things done. So I see it in a feminine way, and it has completely changed me, and it has helped me become so much more successful, especially financially, than I could have ever dreamed of. I hope this advice helped you, and if you enjoyed this video, please come to the Natural Feminine Experience. This is just the tip of the iceberg of what we will touch upon there. We're going to talk about everything from productivity to beauty routines, night routines, morning routines, to how to keep your home, clothing, wardrobe, all of it. It's going to be so fun, especially if you are getting into your femininity and healing these aspects. It's going to be such a beautiful healing experience. So I hope you'll join, and I will see you guys there. And thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it and it's your first time here, please subscribe. I will see you guys in my next video. And always remember this, my beautiful angels, no matter who you may be in this life, no matter what you may be going through or what you look like, always remember your true beauty, your true worth, and your true power always come from within. I love you all, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.